Apologize for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. President Bush just called Tiger and expressed his congratulations. And Tiger, we're all extremely proud of you. You've made history today at Augusta. We're proud that it was here. We're even prouder of you and proud that as well that you're a second-time Masters champion. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Please, Tiger, tell us a little bit about how you must feel now.
It was a long day. I tell you that. It was awfully fun to go out there and compete and know that you have to hit the best shots and make some putts and just hang in there. And the wind conditions early which made it really tough starting out. And to see David up there play as solid as he did on the front nine and know that he's probably going to continue that into the back nine and Phil right there in my group making birdies. It was tough, and I made some big putts and in the middle stretch there to keep myself in the ball game. And it was just a weird feeling to make that putt on the last hole. I was telling the guys out here that when I was reading the putt, I kept telling myself, I said, well, my good buddy Marco made it. You know, why can't I make it? And I just started thinking about that, and I think by doing that, it just made me feel a little more at ease, a little more relaxed. And I went up there and just kind of rolled it down there and had good speed, and it just went right in the bottom.
Yes, sir, in the middle.
Tiger, right after you hit that putt, and I had a tough time seeing this because, you know, dodging and weaving amongst the crowd. It looked like you had face in your hands. What was that?
Face in my hands.
I'm sorry, hand in your face, let's try. What was that gesture about? You kind of went over to the side and kind of...
You had your cap over your
I did, yeah. I started losing a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Follow up. Yes, sir.
Well, I think when I made the putt, it was a great putt. It went in, but yeah, so be it. I walked over the side, and I kept thinking, well, because I was in such a zone today, working on, every shot, working so hard on every shot. And then I walked over the side, and I just started thinking, I don't have any more shots to play. I'm done. And I won the Masters. It was just a weird feeling because, when you're focused so hard on each and every shot, you kind of, forget everything else. And when I didn't have any more shots to play, that's when I started realizing what I had done. I'd won the tournament, and I started getting a little emotional. And I had to try and pull it together. That's why I put the cap over my face to try and pull it together. So when Phil made his putt, I was able to shake his hand.
Yes, sir, on the way.
Tiger, now that the week's over, could you talk a little bit about the pressures of the week? Were you feeling it more this week than you had in other majors because of what was at stake?
To be honest with you, you're not going to believe this. You probably think I'm lying. But I kid you not, I actually felt more relaxed this week just because I kept reminding myself this as the week went on, and people were asking me questions about what I could accomplish. Yeah, but I had won this tournament already, which meant that no matter what happens this week, I'm gonna get invited back. So that's that just thinking that way kind of made me just relax and enjoy a little bit more and stay a little more in tune with what I had to do instead of thinking about what could possibly happen.
Yes, sir, standing in the back.
Tiger, now that you have won it, though, maybe we can ask you a bit about what it means to you. It's a question we've asked you many times when you've set other records before, made history before. What does it mean to you to do something no golfer has ever done?
It's very special. It really is. When I had won in '97, I hadn't been a pro a full year yet, and I guess I was a little young, a little naive, and I didn't really understand what I had accomplished for at least another year or two after that event. This year, I understand. I've been around the block. I've witnessed a lot of things since that year, and I have a better appreciation for winning a major championship, and to win 4 of them in succession. It's just, it's hard to believe, really, because there's so many things that go into winning a major championship, and for that matter, any tournament, but more so majors, because you gotta have your game, peak at the right time. And on top of that, you gotta have some luck. You gotta get some good breaks, and you gotta have everything kind of go right. And to have it happen 4 straight times, that's awfully nice. Some of the golfing guys are looking down upon me the right way.
On that, maybe this one you won't want to answer, but how long can this streak go on?
I don't know. We'll find out in June.
Yes, sir. Blue shirt.
Forgive the syrupy nature of this question, Tiger, but when Pete Rose got his record-breaking hit, he looked in the sky and said he saw his father. Were you thinking of anything other than no more shots? Was there any part of your life that you thought of when you got emotional on the green? Was there any kind of, I don't know, moment of gravity for you?
No.
Being emotional on a golf course like that, or is that the first time you ever let your guard down?
I've done it before. I've cried after wins. I've cried after defeats. But I've never had that feeling before, because I was, I guess, so attuned to each and every shot that I focused so hard on just that one golf shot, and that's it, that when I finally realized I had no more to play. That's it. I'm done. It was, for some reason, my emotions started coming out, and I started experiencing that and reflecting on some of the shots I had hit, some of the big putts, and I don't know, a lot of different images came by and it came through my head real quick, and a lot of it's just like the leaderboard and watching David, hearing the roars, watching Phil make putts. It was just a lot of different things went through my head at that moment.
Backlit.
Tiger, after you won the PGA, Butch said that it was probably the toughest mentally you've ever been on a golf course in a major. Would you say that today, because of what happened with Phil and David, that was even more so than what happened at Valhalla?
The beginning part of that, I'm sorry.
Butch said last year that was the toughest he had ever seen you mentally competing.
Yeah, okay, well. I think the last PGA, I think it was tough because, well, one, we went extra holes. We played 21 holes, but I think 2 is because we both knew we had to go low. We had to shoot a low number that day, just because the conditions were soft and benign, and we got it going on the back 9. But this one was tough. Knowing the fact that you couldn't make a mistake. It's a little bit different. That golf course at Valhalla was a little bit more benign than it is here. Here, you just hit one simple shot that catches a slope 1 foot away from being a good shot. Next you know, you're looking at probably making bogey or double. Penalties here are a lot more severe, and I think that's what wears on you, knowing the fact that you can't put it in certain places. I mean, like, for instance, I had probably one of the easiest bunker shots there is on 12. I was on a flat lie. It was sitting up. It was perfect. And you're looking at it, and you're thinking, well, if I line this ball on the green with the wrong spin, it's in the water. Something that simple. So I played safe, a little chunk and run, kind of plop it on there and line it short of the green, let it run on. But something that simple, knowing the fact that you hit just a good shot, but it's kind of marginal. It's wet, and you probably lose the tournament.
Yes, sir.
Tiger, as a kid, did you ever dream this big?
Of what?
4 in a row?
No, I don't think we, as kids, ever think of doing things like that. I think we think of winning major championships and competing against the best players in the world, and enjoying that and doing that. I don't think I've ever thought about winning 4 consecutive majors. I thought about winning majors, yes, but I don't think 4 ever entered, because you need to win 1 in order to win 4.
So are you amazed?
Am I amazed? I'm amazed at the fact that I was able to play as well as I was able to play when I needed it. I think that's where a lot of the hard work goes into it. The hours that you spend by yourself on the range or the putting green, chipping green, out on the golf course late in the evening. Just getting things, making yourself work that extra bit because you're probably going to need it. And I think from that standpoint, I'm amazed, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did I hear you say outside that you can't imagine accomplishing something greater than this?
No, the question was whether, let me put it this way, I answered it in the fact that I haven't accomplished anything this great. And I guess the question was, have you ever done anything this good before, or whatever it was? And the answer is no. I've won a lot of tournaments. I've had some very special things happen to me. I guess winning 6 straight USG events isn't too bad. But I guess to win 4 consecutive majors is, if you look at my career, I don't think I've ever accomplished anything this great.
Yes, sir, in the front row.
Tiger, you talked about how much you had to focus on each shot. What did the putt on 15 do?
Well, it was just a bad putt. I blocked it. And it's not exactly what I needed to have happen at that moment. But I knew that if I could make one more birdie coming in, I still had a 1-shot lead, and I kept reminding myself that going to 16T. That's one of the reasons why I kept my head down the entire time. I was walking to the tee. I kept saying, forget that hole. You have 3 holes to play. You have a 1-shot lead. Let's go ahead and make one more birdie coming in. Just try and make one more birdie, because I didn't hear any roars on 17 when David was playing it, which meant that he didn't make birdie, which meant that the best he could do was get to 15.
Yes, sir. Back.
You keep saying, I'm done. Do you consider this the conclusion of something special or just the beginning of something special?
I don't know. It's never really looked at it that way. I look at the fact that the tournament's done. It's really hard for me to answer that question right now. Hopefully it is the start, but might be the end. I don't know.
Yes, sir, in the front.
Tiger, is there either a word or a sentence you could use to describe each of the 4 majors in succession, and when you reflect on them? Start.
Well, I don't know if I can use 4, but 4 sentences, but I can tell you this: the first 2 that I won probably couldn't have happened on 2 better sites than those 2. And for those 2 events, I mean, it's not too often you get to play Pebble Beach and St. Andrews. I mean, Pebble Beach is probably the greatest golf course we have over here, and St. Andrews is probably the greatest course in the world. And then to win at Valhalla under those conditions, having to make birdie after birdie after birdie, just to hang in there, that was tough. And then to do it here, which is probably one of the most historic sites in all the world. It's pretty neat to win 3 of the 4 and probably the 3 sites you'd probably ever pick to win championships on.
Yes, sir, far left.
What's the best shot you hit today, in your opinion?
The best shot? By far, the tee shot on 13. It's a shot I've been practicing for the last couple months, knowing the fact that I'm probably going to need that shot either on 13 or 14, just a high sweeper, get it down there. And I've been practicing arcing off my plane, using the loft, and just making sure I have it right. And I practiced it on the range all week, just in case I might need it, because the first 3 days I just one of the days I hit it over in the right trees, but the next 2 days I hit it just around the corner with just a slight drop, because I didn't really need to make eagle. With the way things were going, I was probably going to need to at least have a chance at making 3. So I said, I had to pull it out. I had to step up there and aim another 15 yards further right and hit the big slinger around the corner to give myself a chance, because Phil had hit a great high fade around the corner. It was in great position, so I had to answer it, and I was able to answer it.
How much most crucial putt?
By far the putt on 10. 10 was a big putt, because that was not an easy putt. That fast, straight downhill, and grains coming off the left. To be able to make that putt was big.
Standing in the center, please.
Tiger, at both Bay Hill and the Players this year, you told us you were practicing shots specifically for Augusta, and it sounds like that's one of them. How many of them did you end up needing or using?
I used them all.
Very back.
Tiger, what's your jacket size?
About this big. So I got a little bit big in 97 too, because I figured a lot of the guys say they get a little larger as they get older.
Front row left.
Tiger, despite the scale of your achievement today, I feel you to be the least surprising Masters winner I've ever seen. Did you at all have, even before a ball was struck on Thursday, a feeling of predestiny?
I felt relaxed, and as I said over to Ron, is that I felt so relaxed about, you know, no matter what happened this week, I was going to come back. It wasn't like if I didn't play well, I'm not exempt to come back. I'm going to keep coming back here for a while, and so I guess I looked at it that way. I didn't look at the fact that I had a chance to win 4 successive majors. I never looked at it that way. I think I did that purposely and I guess subconsciously just to try and make myself feel more at ease. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I am, I guess, as relaxed as I am right now. It's just because of my mindset all week and even leading up into this event.
Dave?
If you were to meet Bobby Jones in the clubhouse tonight, what would you say to him?
Wow. Well, how did he come back? Because I want to know. If I go out, I want to know how I can come back like that. Wow. That's a weird question, isn't it? First question, I'd probably ask him that, and you know, what the heck are you doing here? And then I'll probably ask him if you want to sit down and have a beer.
Tiger, now that you've done it, what do you want to call it?
What I want to call it? I'll let you guys. You guys are very creative.
Good answer. Good answer.
Huh? Is it a grand slam in your eyes?
I won 4.
Yes, sir.
Tiger, did you realise today that Steve Williams became the first caddy to carry caddy for a Grand Slam?
You know, the funny thing is, he was telling me, we were on the 17th fairway yesterday afternoon, and all of a sudden he just, you know, Steve is a pretty mellow guy, but we were just standing there, it's just all quiet, and he just all of a sudden said to me, you know, I've made the cut in every single Masters appearance here. I mean, 16 straight appearances, he's made the cut every time. I said, how many jackets do you own? He just looked at me. I said, all right, I know what I need to do. And I finally got one.
You think put into this week?
Invaluable. We work wonderful as a team. We've made a couple mistakes this week, but the decisions we made correctly far outweigh those bad decisions we made. Like for instance, you know, the read the win like we did on 13 and 15. You know, that was big because the wind was all over the place on 13, and that's one of the reasons why I played so quickly on that shot. I don't normally play that fast because the wind all of a sudden went straight downwind, and Phil played in the wind, and I played straight downwind. So I had to go right then just in case the wind might switch. So I hit it, and I hit 8 iron. I mean, not too often you hit 8 iron that hole.
Dave.
What did you know about David's work on the 18th, and when did you know it?
I didn't know how short a putt it was until someone told me. I knew that he stuffed it, obviously with the roar. As I was walking to my 3rd shot on 17, I could hear the roar like he hit it close, which meant that I figured I was tied for the lead. He'd probably make the putt for birdie. So I had to get mine up and down, if not hole it. And I almost holed it. And then I didn't hear a huge roar up there on 18, which meant that he missed. So therefore that made that tee shot on 18 a little bit easier, knowing the fact that I just had to make 4.
Kind of the disappointment or the murmur?
If he made 3, you would have known.
Yes, sir, in the red shirt.
Tiger, you said yesterday you would look forward to the fun, the challenge, the excitement of playing those guys on the leaderboard. Could you enjoy yourself at all, or was it a tremendous amount of work where you're so focused that you didn't realize till the end of the round how much enjoyment it was?
The enjoyment is going out there and working for it. And grinding it out and going toe-to-toe with two of the best players in the world. And David and Phil playing really well. I mean, to go toe-to-toe, that is work, but that's what it's all about, and that's the fun of it. And to have that challenge, whether you win or not, that's why we play, to be able to experience that. And that to me is the reason why I practice, to have that feeling coming down the stretch, knowing you have to hit golf shots against the best players and be able to somehow do it.
Yes, sir, on the right. Because of your concentration this week and your mindset this week, how long after you made the putt did you actually think about the 4 in a row?
Well, funny thing, I didn't really think about it. I just, for the longest time, even now, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm thinking of the fact that I just won the Masters, and that's a pretty cool feeling. Now, will I think about I won 4? I think as everything dies down a little bit, and I have a little more time to appreciate it, and I guess watch it on TV. Listen to the Augusta music. The Masters music is pretty cool. So maybe when I watch it on TV, I'll be able to experience it a little bit better. Because when you're out there playing and you're focusing and grinding it out, you don't really realize the periphery and how all of you journalists can really set things up.
In the center, please.
Tiger, you talk about the challenges of getting here. Can you talk about the satisfaction you feel to kick the door in, which you've been planning to do for a long time?
It feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. You've been on me about that, and I finally was able to do it. And it was it was a lot of work out there today, as I've said before. It was fun. It was arduous, but extremely rewarding to be able to beat 2 of the best players, and one's a good buddy of mine, David, to be able to go toe-to-toe with them. That was a lot of fun.
Sir.
Tiger, you talked about the tee ball on 13 maybe being your best shot of the day. Would the tee ball on 18 be on the short list? The camera stayed with you, and the way you held your finish, it was obviously an important shot. Looked like you were pretty satisfied with the tee ball on 18.
Well, I bombed that tee shot. I mean, it was a high bleeder, and when I hit it, I knew I had started the ball on the line with the right trajectory and the shape. But once that ball got up there, you can see the wind just hit it, and it kicked it further right. And I honestly didn't know if I had cleared the tree. I've gone around the tree, and we kept asking the camera guy who was on the tee box, is it in the fairway or is it in the trees? Because we don't know. And the entire time going down the hill, we don't know where it's at. We have no clue. We couldn't hear the murmur or the ground, or the groans, or the clapping up there in the fairway because the people on the tee were going nuts. So we couldn't hear it. What had happened to the ball? And we were walking up the hill, and I saw a ball on the right. I don't know if that was Phil's ball because Phil had pulled it, and I don't know if it had hit the tree and gone back further in the trees or had dropped down. So I don't know if that was his ball or my ball. And finally there was another camera guy there. I said, "Is it in the fairway or not?" And finally he said, "Yes, in the fairway." And that's when Stevie and I gave a little low five.
Yes, sir, in the back.
Tiger, a couple of your golfing peers, felt compelled to stand around 18 and watch you putt out because they wanted to be part of that history. What does it mean to have captured even their awe?
I guess it's well, one, I saw Calc there. Calc was one of the first ones to come up and congratulate me. Calc's been a great buddy and a wonderful friend. And he came out, ironically enough, at the British Open and watched the last couple holes and followed me in because he wanted to see that. And that's special. It's special when you see other players, but more importantly when you see friends out there, following you and rooting you on. That's when this sport's a little bit different, because in most sports I wouldn't be the case.
2 or 3 more questions, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Tiger, exactly where will the 4 trophies sit until June?
Well, from what I've been told, I have to get back my U.S. Open trophy pretty soon.
Is there going to be a moment when they'll all be together?
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Where exactly?
Where? I've said this before. You haven't been paying attention? Right on my coffee table.
Coffee table.
Yeah. What do you want me to do with them? I know what your mind would do with them.
Two more questions, please.
Yes, Tiger. People are bound to compare this now, particularly in bars and so on, with the other great sportsmen of our era, people like Muhammad Ali and Pelé and Michael Jordan. Can you just give us an idea of when you were growing up and as an observer of sport, who were the greats in your imagination, and what were the landmark achievements in sport as you were growing up?
I think some of the biggest accomplishments I've ever been privy to have usually been on videotape. I haven't been on this planet long enough to have seen some of the greatest athletes of all time do some of their stuff, and I've never seen an Ali fight in person or live. I wasn't around, but some of the stuff that MJ's done has been absolutely amazing. Like Carl Lewis, I'd be able to, I guess, compete 4 or 5 Olympics consecutively. I mean, that's incredible. And I guess in our sport, my first recollections of this tournament was when Jack won in '86. I was 10 years old at the time, but I do remember the shots he hit. I do remember it's a funny thing how my mind works, but the only shot I really vividly recall him hitting was the putt on 18, up the shelf, left to right, when left it about 6 inches short, right in the middle of the hole. And I don't remember any of the putts he made prior to that, but that one putt.
Tiger, as we finish, could you please briefly go over your scorecard, please?
Well, number one, I jerked it left off the tee. I had to try to play a little punch shot underneath the trees out of the rough, and carried it on the green. Came out hot. Had no chance of stopping. Went back and almost against the gallery. Played a semi-good shot. Kept it on the green. It hit a really good putt from about 15 feet. Just missed on the low side. Tapped in for 5. Second hole, I absolutely blistered a tee shot down there. Wind was coming off the right, and I started the ball in the middle of the bunker and shaped it down the hill. And hit a 4-iron in there, pin high right, and it's just 2-putted from probably about 20 feet. I was up off the green though. What else had I birdie? 7. Hit a driver off the tee on 7. Had 45 yards to the hole. I hit it at about 8 feet right behind the hole and made that. Number 8. Hit a drive down the right side of the fairway. I hit a 3-wood right of the green in the rough. Played a flop shot down there to about 10 feet and made that. Number 11, hit a drive down the right-hand side. I had 145 of the hole and hit a little chip 8 to about a foot. Made that. 12 was an interesting one. When I was set up over the ball, it was just an 8-iron shot, and I knew it was perfect 8-iron, just a 150-yard 8-iron. As soon as I made contact with the ball, I could feel the wind on the back of my neck, and I said, just please don't affect the ball. And you could see it just push the ball a little bit, which made it go in the back bunker. Phil hit not too long after that, and his shot was into the wind. You could see his ball actually kick up because it was into the wind. His stayed on the green. And as I said, I just chunked my bunker shot up there and pulled my putt from about 6 feet. 13, I hit a 3-wood and 8-iron up there about 30 feet short of the hole. Left it right in the middle of the hole. Tapped in for 4. 15, hit a driver and a 7-iron. Oh, sorry, I made part of that hole, never mind. 18, just a driver and a 60-degree sandwich. I had 75 yards to the hole, and just chipped it up there right of the hole and made about a 15-footer.
Saves on 9 and 10.
9 hit a good drive down the fairway. I was trying to hit that sand wedge in the air with a high, soft spinner, and I just didn't hit it hard enough. I kind of came up on it, trying to hit the ball up in the air, and just like most amateurs do, trying to help it up in the air a little bit, and just hit it weak, and then landed on the slope, spun back down the hill. But you know what? The good thing is that it didn't spin back all the way down the slope. It kind of stayed where I could actually almost see the bottom of the flag. So it wasn't as hard of the shots as it had been in the past, but it still was hard. Played a little skipping spinner in there, kind of just missed the hole and rolled by to about 6 feet, and buried that one. And on 10, hit a good 3-wood off the tee. Unfortunately, I had some mud on my ball, and it was on the front right part of the ball, and I was thinking, well, being on the front right part of the ball, which means that it usually makes it go a little bit left, and I tried to hit a cut shot to hold it, but it took off and it tumbled. It was like catching a flyer out of the fairway, and it just went over the green. Had a putt there from about 40 feet, left it about 10 feet short, and was able to make that.
Tiger, we're very proud of you. Congratulations on your second Masters
Thank you.
championship. We'll see you next year.
You got it.